Okay, so we have Sinead here who is coaching with me at the moment, and she's been nice enough to do a video with her journey so far. So just start with people who are watching this. Tell a sentence or two about yourself.
I'm Sinead, and I am teaching full time and keep fit normally. And I've been coaching with Sarah now for the last couple of months, and things have been very good. But it wasn't always that way.
And that's what we're going to go on to here now. So tell us then a little bit kind of where you were before you started coaching. What were you doing? Kind of your headspace. What were you doing before you started coaching side of things?
To be honest, my health wouldn't have been good. I would have been quite anxious, quite stressed. I would have been doing a lot of running and going to the gym, trying to achieve different things, sort of running on empty and not seeing great results, and looking for magic potions, magic pills, magic shakes, looking for instant remedies, and very frustrated. Also, the bank balance was getting drained and nothing was happening. Well, it was happening, but it was very short term. And it was like the ball went after a very short time. So you were quite deflated after, well, I was quite deflated after it. Not so much wanting to give up, but looking for the next fix. What was the next new thing out on the market that would sort me out, like. And definitely my headspace wasn't in the right place at all.
And say what you were doing, what kind of impact was that having on you?
When you're anxious, your mood is bad, and you're going towards the negativity of yourself. And you look in and see, you're critical of everything you do, you're critical of how you look. And that impacts on people you're in relationship with, your family, your children, people I work with. I hide it a good bit, but unfortunately people closer to you would see it. Snappy, mood swings, not being satisfied, not hitting the right button, and looking at everybody else and saying, oh, I wish I was that, or I wish I was this, or I could never get there, or I could never do that. A little bit of low self-esteem, I think, really, and not believing in myself. Actually, self-image was poor. Self-image was poor, I have to admit. And thought because I was older, I thought I couldn't do it. And that was holding me back. And so I wouldn't say I was in a very good place now.
Well, the age side of things is definitely holding you back now. Certainly not.
No, definitely not.
We had a call then, and we kind of went through this impact it was having you. And then you came on board with me. You've been with me for a couple of months. Tell us a little bit then how that's changed for you.
It's only now I'm realising how much it's changed, in the sense that because I'm a person who looked for instant soup or instant recipes or instant everything in life, the coaching made me take a step back and take things in small portions, not just food, everything. Tiny steps, bit by bit, but are regular, consistent steps. I did an awful lot of the reading and listening to the podcasts. I must say, I think I became a junkie to the podcast and to the reading, and the material that I was advised to read. And I got an awful lot from that. And I think when my mindset started to change, I began to take to the program very easily. It came a second nature. The mindset really was a big thing for me. Positivity, the just self-worth, looking at things, not letting things beat me, believing I could do things, and everybody can do them if they try. And I was given tools, and you can get a flat pack table from IKEA, or you can build your own table. And at the moment I'm still building my own table, basically. And I saw a big change in that. Food-wise, I'm eating more food than I ever ate, which is surprising me, and still dropping. I'm more confident in the gym, and because I do a little bit at home now, I feel stronger. Now, I did have to be told a few times to cut back. When I'm injured, I'm trying to be a little bit of a brick wall. And now I'm loving taking a step back when I have to, because sometimes it's tough to get to the gym, and sometimes you have to you have to push yourself to the gym, and it's those little disciplines that you have to make a habit in your life that it has to be part of the morning routine, getting up. And I would get up a little bit earlier. I would take time to say thanks for things. I would take the time for me and say, wow, or I'll go out this morning and do my workout and say, that's my time. And I think that, along with nutrition and having to be accountable then at the end, it's not even that I'm afraid to be accountable. I like the structure, and I think the structure has helped even emotionally and mentally. I think a lot of people need that. And I think it's not just dieting, and I don't see it as a diet, I see it as a change in lifestyle. Yeah, I've taken, if anybody asks me about dieting, or I don't go on the word diet anymore. Yeah, scales used to be my thing, and say, oh my God, we're my, unfriendly friend. I don't really bother anymore. I do the weigh in, all right, no problem, but I don't get as anxious about it anymore, because when I feel good and I look good, I'm happy. Yeah, of course, I want to improve and keep going, and I have all these ideas, but they're not ideas, they're goals, and I can reach them, and I know I can reach them. And I think anybody can. You can get from point A to point B, but you have to look in the right direction down the road to point B. You can either go to the left or to the right or straight down the middle. And for me, I have to go straight down the middle.
Absolutely super. Like, it just the change and kind of where you're going. Like, you've achieved so much in a couple of months, and you're still have those goals in mind. You can achieve them now. And even just looking back at kind of what you've achieved so far, how does that even feel to see even the mindset side of things, the physique side of things, and how you're going about your nutrition now at the moment? How does it feel to see what you've achieved so far?
Amazing. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. And I spoke to you on the phone and said, like, I'm not into technology, I'm not into this, and I was very fearful. I was very fearful of the program, that I personally wouldn't stick it, because I was a person that wanted instant results. And I actually I'm proud of myself, actually, that I actually have taken on the program so well. And I actually can say, good for me. Well done, Sinead, you did it. I haven't done it, I'm still continuing the journey. But I am amazed at myself. I have become a much calmer person, and things won't get to me as quickly as they used to. Because I'm using the reading and saying the simple little stories about the plant on the pond spreading. It takes so much, it's a time, and over time the growth happens. And I think I need to pull back from wanting everything instantly. And it's the little disciplines that in my own life that you need to be consistently doing it. Only if it's only tiny things. Getting up at a certain time, doing something at a certain time, and getting to bed early. Not all the time, but if you can keep it consistent. And where I've come from when I started, a very different mindset. A lot more confident in myself. Even, it sounds really ridiculous now, before I started the program, I would never have gone to the dentist because I was too nervous. And my big thing was my teeth weren't good. And during the program, I took myself off to the dentist and got my teeth fixed. And even to do that and to smile and be able to smile and say, that's another part of growth for me. I wanted that for me, and I did it, and conquered the fear and conquered the dentist fear. But also what it did for my smile and what it did for me, it was all incorporating when I was starting to feel better physically. I want to add to that by saying, right, no point in having all this nutrition in your body if you're not looking after other things. So every little bit started falling, slowly fell into place. I'm not totally there yet. Nobody is. I don't think the road ever really doesn't end. You're always learning. But from where I was, I'd say, yeah, definitely a happier person, more disciplined. And I keep using that word disciplined, and sometimes there's a negative connotation to that, but I don't see it negatively. I see getting my shit together. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but getting my shit together. Sometimes I wasn't getting my shit together. I was just living day by day and saying, oh yeah, Branda. Sometimes you just have to be told, get the shit together. If you want things to happen, well, go and do it then. There's no point in sitting there and saying, I want. It's there for a bit. Go get it. So I had to go get it. That's what I did.
No, absolutely super. And say if someone was watching this and was, say, like you, very, very fearful of doing something like new or sticking, or you know, seeing that things are there for them to get, but they keep saying want, but won't do anything about it. If someone was watching this video and in a similar position to you, what would you say to them?
I'd have to say, literally, the IKEA table only lasts a certain length of time. You got to build your own furniture, and if you don't have your own furniture to sit on, it'll fall. So I'd say whatever way you can get your shit together, literally, get it together, and don't be waiting for it to come to you. It won't come to you. There's nobody going to come to you and say, I'm going to make your life wonderful. There's nobody going to come to you and say, I'm going to make your body beautiful. There's nobody going to come and say to you, you're going to make your mental health fantastic. You've got to get out there and go for it. And I'd say anybody who's thinking of starting something or starting a program for themselves, it's for yourself. There's nobody, no matter how much you're loved in this world, there's nobody going to hold you up unless you're prepared to make that first step.
Absolutely super. So thank you so much for doing this video.
Not at all.
Something from this.